So in this video, I'm just going to do a very quick explanation of selective edits and masking in Lightroom Mobile. So if I click on the bottom on masking, it's going to allow me just to select certain areas to edit in my picture. So if I press on the blue plus, then I have some different options. Like it will select a subject or the sky and the linear gradient and radial gradient, but I'm just going to show you the brush for right now. So if I click on brush, then I can start brushing on an area, and I can even choose like what size of a brush that I want. Like if I want it to be bigger or smaller, I can just click over to the left and slide my finger up and down. I can also choose to make it a softer edge or a harder edge brush. So like a harder edge brush, you can kind of see there, it's harder. Sometimes you want it to be one way or the other. We go back to soft edge. And maybe I'd want everything that's not the truck selected, so I can actually invert if I wanted to, and different things. And if I hate it, I can throw it out and say, forget it. So I'm going to do this again with the brush, just kind of go on the truck, because maybe in this picture, I like this picture, but I think that the truck, as much as I like the red, is too red, and I want to bring that down. So now that that's selected, look what happens. When I click on, say, light, only the area that I masked is affected. So I could maybe bring it down a little bit, and then I can change my shadows and my highlights and all that. I can go into color. I could even bring the saturation down, or I could have it up, whatever it is that I want, if I want it so that does not compete with that duck that's there. So that's one way that you can make a selection. And then down in the bottom right, if I want it, I can press the check. If I don't, I press the X on the bottom left. So I now have that there, and you can see the original and the change. And what else? I could say, okay, I want another one. I'm going to press that plus again and say select subject, but it uses like AI. So it selected the duck, but it also selected the rock. So it's a little more difficult kind of on your phone to change that and take areas away. But again, I could make changes if I want the duck to be kind of a warmer color or cooler, I can do that. But as you can see, it does affect the rock in the background. And, play around. There's ways to kind of add to and take away from things. So you can play with that. But one last thing, though this isn't a great picture for it, but if you have, like, say, a linear gradient or radial gradient, here, let's do, like, the radial gradient. I could press and hold, and then I'm selecting just kind of the center area. It's almost like the opposite of a vignette, but maybe I do want the opposite. Maybe I want the edges and not the center. And then I could do things like bring down the shadows and bring down the exposure at the edge. So now really that duck or goose or whatever is going to pop. So that's just a very quick explanation of how to do some selective edits on your phone, but I really think going in and playing around, you'll learn a lot more just by doing it.